We should bear in mind the names of these Western adventurers. They visited almost every corner of Xinjiang between the late 1800s and the early 1900s. In the early spring of 1901 in particular, Swedish adventurer Sven Hedden discovered the lost ancient city of Loulan, which is in the depths of Lac Nord. The discovery surprised the Western world. From then on, more and more adventurers have come to the city. As ancient ruins were unearthed and historic treasures were looted, the world was astonished by the ancient civilization of Xinjiang.
Xinjiang 呢，位咱们祖国西北部边疆，也是这个亚欧大陆腹地，所以这种特殊的地理环境和位置呢，使得这个新疆呢，自古以来就是一个东西方文明这个交汇、交流的一个地方，同时也是很多的民族来迁徙流动这个地方。
In Xinjiang, the Tian Shan Mountains mark a geological boundary as well as a border between nomadic and agricultural civilizations. The Gobi Desert and the steppe to the north of the Tian Shan Mountains are where ancient nomadic peoples lived. Some of them were forefathers of today's nomadic peoples, while the majority have vanished, leaving only a few ruins. Oases in the Tarim Basin, south of the Tian Shan Mountains, are the cradles of ancient Xinjiang's agriculture. The 36 states in the western regions during the Han Dynasty were actually 36 cities in the oases. Today, if you go along the old courses of the Karia River and the Tunguska River into the heartland of the Taklimikan Desert, you will find only 2 villages. This is interesting, but also odd. Why were there so many prosperous cities in this huge desert, and why did these cities disappear?
著名的古代丝绸之路啊，就是横穿新疆，从咱们长安穿过新疆，然后到了西方的。所以呢，从古到今来，新疆这个是东西方文明各个民族交流融汇非常频繁的一个地区。
The ancient Silk Road is the key to understanding the causes behind the ups and downs of the oasis civilizations in Xinjiang. This 7,000-meter-long road spans Asia, Africa, and Europe, and Xinjiang is in the middle, which is a critical position. If there were no oases nearby, the Silk Road could not have existed in Xinjiang and run across the Taklimikan Desert. The flourishing of the Silk Road brought prosperity to the cities in the oases, which witnessed the fusion of ancient Eastern and Western civilizations in terms of culture, economy, religion, and even race. In Hotan, which is along the southern course of the Silk Road, you can still find the ancient studios where silk was made, which may remind you of the Silk Princess, a story recounted by Xuanzang in his book Pilgrimage to the West in the Tang Dynasty. In Turpan, or Fire Island, an ancient water conservancy project consisting of underground canals and known as a Kerez water system is still in use today, but it is still hard to determine which civilization created it. for trade on the Silk Road, if Chinese silk is considered the most precious product moving east to west, then Buddhism is certainly the most important import from west to east. Qiuzi, globally famous for its music and dance, was a large civilization along the Silk Road and among the first to introduce Buddhism. Situated along the Musat River at the foot of the Chuar Daga mountain, the Kizil Thousand Buddha grottos were built in the 3rd century, 2 centuries earlier than the world-famous Mogao grottos. It is through the grottos along the Silk Road that Buddhism was introduced into China. In March 2000, a young shepherd discovered a clay statue of a sitting Buddha in Damago Township, Chira County. In 2002, a Buddhist temple was unearthed in Xinjiang. It is the only Buddhist temple in the region that was not discovered or excavated by Western adventurers. This temple, built during the 6th or 7th century, is less than 4 square meters in size and is thought to be the smallest Buddhist temple in China. Later, 2 other temples were unearthed nearby, together with a large number of delicate Buddhist murals. This mural depicts faithful Uyghur Buddhists and is material proof that Yutian was a key Buddhist town in the Tang Dynasty. Xinjiang witnessed tremendous changes from the 10th to the 12th centuries. The Mor Pagoda along the banks of the Kamak River in the North Kashgar was an important Buddhist temple in the kingdom of Suluk. This temple, destroyed in a war in the early 10th century, must have witnessed the emergence of Islamic Kaharan kingdom and the fall of Buddhism in the western regions. Located at the intersection of the Silk Road where the kingdom of the people of Zhushi once lived, Kochou remained the capital city of the Uyghur kingdom for many years. Before Islam became a dominant religion in Xinjiang in the 15th century, people of different religions had resided here in peace. They were from different nations and spoke up to 24 languages. In comparison, the Buddhist kingdom of Yutian suffered tragedy when it was destroyed by the Islamic Kaharan kingdom in a long, drawn-out war. On a cliff of the Kunlun Mountains stand 2 castles facing each other. Legend has it that this is the battleground which the last group of Buddhists from the kingdom of Yutian defended. But due to a lack of water sources, they climbed over the Kunlun Mountains and fled to the Qinghai Tibetan Plateau. Some history is like the volatile Tarim River. During the rise and fall of the oases in Xinjiang, Buddhist temples were destroyed one after another. Meanwhile, the maritime Silk Road emerged and began to replace the ancient inland Silk Road. This means that the fall of the ancient oasis economies in the fragile environment was just a matter of time. One after another, the ancient oases disappeared and were covered with sandy dunes. But thanks to the extreme drought and desolate deserts in Xinjiang, the underground ruins remain intact even after thousands of years. They represent the historic heritage of human civilization. The arid desert abounds with petroleum and natural gas underground, and the valleys in Gobi Desert are dotted with wind turbine towers. Xinjiang is now becoming the largest energy base and wind power generation base in China. Xinjiang also prides itself on its big agriculture. Its oases are the largest cotton production bases in China. Turpan is where the world's sweetest grapes are produced, and Aksu is where the world's sweetest apple is produced. Xinjiang is now considered an advanced agricultural province. The center of Asia Tower, marking the geographic center of the Asian continent, stands in the Gobi Desert on the outskirts of Urumqi. Urumqi, the farthest city away from oceans, is now blossoming as a hub linking China to Central Asia in the Eurasian land bridge. Shehezi City is the youngest city in the Gobi Desert, and its name simply means a city of pebbles in the desert. In Shehezi, where the modern Chinese poet Ai Qing once lived, a beautiful memorial hall for him has been built. Strolling around it, you may recall the most touching verses written by Ai Qing. Why are tears always in my eyes? It's because I love the land so much. Xinjiang is a land of great wonders that no one who visits is likely to forget.